Now, from the Prodigy Bowlers Tour newsroom, with reports from across the universe, around the world, throughout the nation, and up your alley, this is Prodigy Striking News. Greetings, Prodigy heads. It's me, Coach Randy, with a quick update on how the Prodigy kids are doing in Grand Rapids at Junior Gold. We'll start in the U12 Boys Division, where I've been closely following the progress of Melvin Perry III. MP3 put on a valiant battle, but just missed the cut line by a scant 25 pins. That's 25 pins over 16 games, not even 2 pins per game. 3 spares along the way. Melvin finished 41st, and only the top 33 go to the final advancers round. Still, Melvin was tantalizingly close to making it, and I know he'll be back. This kid has no give-up in him. A couple of other U12 boys I want to mention. Corvin Klein, whose only appearance on Prodigy came on our special For Littles Only event 3 years ago when he traveled from Ionia, Michigan to bowl with us in Roswell, Georgia. Corvin finished 67th, which put him easily in the top third of the field in just his second Junior Gold. Congratulations, Corvin. Trey Hoggard III, who also appeared on that For Littles Only episode, finished tied for 102nd and had moments of greatness, just not quite enough of them. By the way, this kid who's leading the U12 boys, Ridgely Potter Jr., oh, brother, if you ever get a chance to see him on Bowl TV, you're not going to believe how good he is. He's the only U12 boy in plus numbers, and he's plus 215, lapping the field. You may be hearing his name in the coming years. What a talent. I was taken to task after the last update for not mentioning the U12 girls. But the fact is, there aren't any girls in the U12 field who have ever appeared on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. But one I will single out for honorable mention is Alina Miller of Paola, Kansas. She's the granddaughter of Lee Miller, the chairman of the Kansas City Open, the group that Prodigy Bowlers Tour is partnered with to cover their tournaments in the upcoming season. So don't be surprised if you see her on one of these Prodigy episodes this fall. She finished 43rd in a field of 109. Anytime a kid finishes in the upper half of the field, that's not bad at all. We'll stay with the girls and move to the U15 division, where the only Prodigy girl in the field is Alana Harding. And while Alana's finish in a tie for 133rd probably isn't quite what she wanted, that's 133rd in a field of 307, which puts her easily in the upper half of the field and just 80 pins from finishing in the upper third. Gotta look at the bright side. Over in the U15 boys, one Prodigy kid's name really jumps out, and that's Dylan Hubley of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Dylan has been hovering around the top 10 all week, and he heads into the advancers round in 9th place. Gavin Murray of Orlando sits in 27th after he polished off his 4th round with a strong 235 to post a block of 825 for 4 games. He'll be bowling in tomorrow's advancers round. I reported to you earlier in the week that Prodigy star Hunter Moffett got off to a slow start and stood tied for 421st place after the first round. Well, I couldn't be more proud of Hunter. He scratched and clawed and battled his way back and has made the cut to get into the advancers round. He's in 76th place and the top 90 advance. He's still got a chance to get to the final advancers round. The Prodigy kids who didn't make the advancers round in U15 boys include Elijah Clinklin of Lee Summit, Missouri, who finished 307th. Ty Carter, whose one appearance on Prodigy came in our Farewell Atlanta episode, finished tied for 442nd. And Josh Greenberg, who finished 492nd. Josh was making his first appearance at Junior Gold, and I told him job one was to have fun and soak it all in. And I heard today that on both of those matters, it was mission accomplished. All right, let's move on to the U18 boys. Leading the way among the Prodigy kids is Ethan Klemenchik, who's tied for 92nd and stands at plus 41, one of 3 Prodigy kids in plus numbers in the U18 boys. The other 2 are Jacob Ballinger, who's at plus 26, good for a tie at 102nd, and Bryant Griffith at plus 14, who is in 107th place. The top 172 and ties get to move on to the advancers round. All right, now here's a story you're not going to believe. Michael Anderson II, who you saw win the Kansas City Open Invitational in our debut episode of Prodigy from the Kansas City area, began his 4th round in a tie for 420th place. He seemed to be hopelessly out of it. In fact, after round 1, Michael was in a tie for 722nd place out of a field of 1,208. Well, against such long odds, listen to what Michael bowled in his 4th round of qualifying. He goes 150, 266, 268, 247 for a 4-game block of plus 131, and he leapfrogs 245 places in the standings, finishing just 1 pin shy of the cut line, and finishes in a tie for 174th. He missed the advancers round by 1 pin after bowling his heart out. Well, I'm proud of him anyway. Next on the list of Prodigy kids was Dylan Murray of Orlando. He finished in a tie for 247th, 70 pins off the cut line, or about 3.5 pins a game. Aiden Reynolds fought to the very end and finished tied for 495th. Braden Longenecker of Wichita, Kansas, bowled a 300. It just wasn't the 300 he wanted. He finished minus 300, which was good for a tie for 504th. Elijah Williams finished in a tie for 578th. John Schlitch managed a tie for 648th in his first trip to Junior Gold. And Jorge Seda finished in a tie for 1109th. Finally, the U18 girls. Annalise O'Brien, who had a rough go in round 3, bounced back in a big way and sits in 5th place heading into the advancers round. Another Georgia girl who appeared once on Prodigy, Erin Klemenchik, had a strong 4th round with games of 202, 228, 173, and 222 to climb all the way up to 11th heading into the advancers. The top 82 are advancing. Alyssa Jordan was the highest Prodigy finisher who missed out. She finished tied for 132nd. Faith Roper bounced back and finished tied for 314th. Amanda Hicks finished tied for 389th. And Ashley Adams finished her week in Grand Rapids 406th. So here are the Prodigy kids who are still in it heading into the advancers round on Friday. In the U15 boys, Dylan Hubley, Gavin Murray, and Hunter Moffitt. In the U18 boys, Ethan Klemenchik, Jacob Ballinger, and Bryant Griffith. And in the U18 girls, Annalise O'Brien and Erin Klemenchik. I imagine both of the Klemenchik parents must be on pins and needles with both of their kids in the advancers round. And Michael Anderson, I don't even know what to say to you, dude. To make up all that ground in one day, only to come up one measly stick short, I think I'd be demanding a recount. But hey, I'm proud of every single one of these kids, whether they've been Prodigy regulars or just made once-in-a-blue-moon appearances on Prodigy Bowlers Tour. If they've been on the show, they're part of the Prodigy family and members of the PBAA, Prodigy Bowlers Across America. On Friday, the advancers and final advancers rounds will go down, and then match play will begin. In the U12 divisions, just the top 8 get to match play, while the top 16 get in the U15 and U18 divisions. Saturday, match play will finish up, and the finals in all 6 divisions will be held at 10, 2, and 6 o'clock for the U12, U15, and U18 divisions, respectively. You can follow along on Bowl.com and watch the live stream on BowlTV.com, including the finals, where they're selling a low-cost Junior Gold only package. It's like $15. I'll check in with you later for another update of how the Prodigy kids are doing at Junior Gold. But for now, this is Coach Randy saying, go get your bowl on.